You want success? Then you've got to be brutally honest with yourself, not just once, every day. Because the truth is, most people don't fail because they don't have potential. They fail because they're quietly sabotaging themselves every single day and they don't even realize it. There are three habits, three deadly habits that are silently killing your progress, your momentum, and your future. Let's break them down right now. Procrastination disguised as productivity is one of the most dangerous habits killing your success because it looks innocent. It feels like progress. It gives you the illusion that you're moving forward when in reality you're just staying busy. You tell yourself you're planning, you're organizing, you're getting ready, but the truth is you're hiding. You're avoiding the uncomfortable high-impact work that actually produces results. Instead of making the sales call, you're editing your website again. Instead of launching the product, you're redesigning your logo. Instead of writing the proposal, you're cleaning your workspace for the 5th time this week. It's all a smokescreen. You get a dopamine hit from completing small, low-risk tasks. So you stay in that zone because it feels good. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Every time you prioritize comfort over courage, you're pushing your dreams further out of reach. You have to understand that perfection is often just fear in disguise. The fear of being judged, the fear of failing, the fear of not being good enough. So you wrap yourself in a blanket of preparation. You try to anticipate every scenario, fix every detail, control every variable before you act. But life doesn't reward preparation alone. It rewards execution. The people who win are the ones who are willing to take action before they feel ready. They're not smarter, they're not more talented, they're just more courageous. They're willing to move with speed and figure things out on the fly. That's how you build momentum. That's how you gain clarity. You learn more in 1 week of action than in a year of planning. There's also the belief that you need more information before you can begin. That's just another lie. The internet is overflowing with information. What you're missing isn't knowledge, it's urgency. You don't need another course. You don't need another book. You need to do the hard thing that's been sitting on your list for weeks, the thing that scares you, the thing that matters. Because that's where the real growth is. That's where the breakthrough lives. Success doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters most and doing it consistently. You have to become a master at identifying the few key actions that actually move the needle and ruthlessly eliminate everything else. You don't need to work longer. You need to work smarter. And that means facing the resistance head on and doing the deep work that creates real value. Busy work is the trap. It's the enemy of high performance. It drains your time, your energy, and your focus without giving you anything meaningful in return. You end each day exhausted, but you haven't actually moved forward. That's why it's so dangerous, because it tricks you into thinking you're doing enough. But deep down, you know you're playing small. You know you're avoiding the real game. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be relentless. You need to be someone who executes no matter what, someone who chooses impact over comfort every single time. Emotional decision making is one of the most subtle ways people sabotage their own progress. When you allow your feelings to dictate your actions, you surrender control of your life. You wake up tired, so you skip the gym. You feel uninspired, so you don't work on your goals. You get discouraged, so you lower your standards. Living this way means you're a passenger in your own life, reacting to whatever emotions show up instead of choosing your direction with intention. Emotions are temporary, but the consequences of decisions made in emotional states can last a lifetime. You can't build a strong foundation on unstable ground, and that's exactly what happens when you let emotions run the show. There's a difference between recognizing emotions and being ruled by them. It's okay to feel disappointed, angry, unmotivated. Those are natural. But when those emotions become your compass, you drift off course. You begin making compromises. You start negotiating with your potential. You justify staying in your comfort zone because it feels safe. The mission becomes secondary to your mood. And once your mission becomes negotiable, your results become inconsistent. The people who build extraordinary lives are the ones who have trained themselves to act based on principles, not feelings. They commit to the process no matter what. They wake up and execute even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when no one's watching. That's the difference between amateurs and professionals. Amateurs act when they feel like it. Professionals act because it's required. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is that they need to wait until they feel ready. Readiness is a myth. Confidence is a result of action, not a prerequisite for it. Waiting to feel motivated is just procrastination in disguise. The truth is, the work doesn't care how you feel. Your future doesn't care how tired or uninspired you are today. What matters is whether you show up and do what needs to be done. Okay, if you let your emotions lead, you'll keep choosing what's easy over what's necessary. You'll keep escaping the pressure instead of rising through it. And eventually, your life will become a reflection of your moods rather than your values. Real growth begins when you stop needing to feel like it and start demanding more from yourself, regardless of your emotional state. It requires a shift from comfort to commitment. Every day you have to make a choice. Do I act based on how I feel, or do I act based on who I want to become? That's the battle. And it doesn't end. Every successful person you admire has built systems, habits, and environments to help them override their emotions and stay aligned with their goals. Because left unchecked, emotions will pull you away from discipline, from structure, from execution. You have to become the kind of person who honors commitments more than cravings, who builds resilience instead of relying on inspiration. When you stop negotiating with your excuses, you unlock a level of consistency that transforms everything. Your environment will either elevate you or eliminate your growth. The people you spend time with, the energy you allow around you, and the standards you surround yourself with all play a powerful role in shaping your mindset and outcomes. Success doesn't happen in isolation. It's not just about grinding in silence or hustling harder than everyone else. It's about being in rooms that stretch you, with people who challenge you, and in cultures that demand your best. When you surround yourself with mediocrity, you slowly begin to normalize it. You stop pushing. You stop aiming higher. You start settling for what's comfortable and familiar. And that's when you start dying inside. Not in a loud, obvious way, but slowly, silently, one compromise at a time. Most people are trapped by relationships and environments that no longer serve their vision. They keep people around out of history, not alignment. Just because someone's been in your life for years doesn't mean they deserve front row access to your future. If they're not growing, if they're not striving, if they're not operating at a high standard, their presence in your life is costing you more than you think. Their habits rub off on you. Their excuses start to sound like your own. Their energy pulls you down when you're trying to rise. You may think you're strong enough to resist it, but no one is immune to their environment. That's why you have to be intentional about where you spend your time and who you spend it with. High-performing environments breed high-performing people. When you're around others who are leveling up, you feel compelled to level up too. Standards are contagious. If your circle celebrates discipline, ambition, and execution, those values will naturally rise within you. You start thinking bigger, moving faster, dreaming bolder. You begin to see what's possible through the people around you. You realize you're capable of far more than you thought, not because someone told you, but because you're witnessing it every day. This is why you must actively seek out rooms where you're not the smartest, most successful, or most disciplined person. Get around people who make you uncomfortable in the best way. People whose work ethic makes you question your own. People whose vision makes yours look small. That discomfort is a sign you're growing. It means you've stepped outside the limits of your current identity. Too many people protect their comfort at the expense of their calling. They stay in places that feel safe even when those places are keeping them stuck. growth requires sacrifice. Sometimes that sacrifice is distance. Distance from people who don't believe in your vision, distance from environments where you feel the need to shrink, distance from energies that drain you instead of fuel you. It's not about cutting people off in anger, it's about building boundaries and wisdom. You're not being rude, you're being responsible because your goals, your dreams, your legacy depend on the energy you allow around you. Every great leap forward begins with an audit of your surroundings.